I do want to bring in another witness to yesterday's incident, Paul Kosko, who's an amateur photographer who was on the scene, and we want to show you some of his stunning images he captured the moment former President Trump took cover with Secret Service, but also the moments right after he was shot and he was ushered off stage. Paul, during one of those commercial breaks, you were showing me the photos up close, and you actually have zoomed in on some of the photos to President Trump. And even though this is graphic, I think it's important. You said you've noticed from your photography that it looks like the former president has lost a piece of his ear?
Yes, that is correct. As far as on the right side, if you zoomed in, the top piece, when the bullet struck, it took out a little piece of the president's right upper ear.
So when we talk about inches, that the former President Trump came within inches of dying,
absolutely.
That is not an exaggeration. That is facts.
As being there, if the president's team ahead of time that showed the immigration charts up there, if he didn't turn his head towards those charts, that would have been a direct side hit to the head, and it probably would have been a JFK moment, which would have been absolutely terrible.
And again, we're still thinking about the young father who lost his life, and those two other victims who are injured and are recovering. You had the sense, you're an amateur photographer, but you had the sense to keep taking photos as this was happening. What kicked in for you as you were watching this?
Well, as it happened, I went to the dirt just like thousands of people in front of Trump. I was 25 feet from the podium in the 10 o'clock position. And we, as far as out there in the audience, didn't realize the severity of it. We heard the pops of the gun. We did, but we didn't think, we were thinking it was firecrackers and that. So the severity didn't really happen until we lost sight of the president. And then everybody got silent. There were people in the field that were saying, get down, get down. I hit the dirt just like thousands of other people there. But when they brought the president up, after the cluster of Secret Service people there, that's when people thought he was okay, especially on the backside, because they didn't see as far as the blood that was on the right side. So, and then they start whisking away, and then pandemonium
one of the cruel realities of yesterday, and when you see this video, it kind of hit me today that there is that moment where former President Trump raises his fist, he gets up.
Yes.
Clearly, he's been hit, but he's not dying. And he mouths fight, and people are cheering. But at the same time, someone is dying, and nobody knows that, except the people that were next to him.
You're absolutely correct. Nobody in the audience knew who was hit, how severe they were hit. Again, our condolences to the families as far as that lost their husband and father and so forth, and also the two other ones that got hit in the abdomen area. Nobody in the audience did that. We were all cheering for someone that was almost beat to the ground, coming up. But then after the reveal of the blood, everybody started, it wasn't a cheer. It was more, I would say, a fear.
You've seen this unfold in front of your eyes. You've seen it unfold behind the lens of your camera. When you see those images, what do you think?
What do I think? This is not America. That's what I want to get clear as far as with people out there. This is not America. I am a Republican, but I'm American first, and I want to extend as far as to the health and safety to President Trump, but also as a Republican reaching out to President Biden and his family, because this is also difficult on their side. We as a country have to stop this logjam, and we got to start opening our hands. And that starts with everybody. That starts with both parties. And it even starts with you guys as far as on the media, all the media. So we've got to lower, because it's America.
Right. Okay. Paul, we thank you for your time. Paul Clover, we appreciate it. Thank you for sharing your photos.
Thank you for your comment.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app, or follow us on social media.